Well, good morning. It's 6 a.m. again when we're posting this, coming at you early on Instagram. Today is Friday. It's September 11th, 2020. And I'm going to share a story with you about a time in high school with me that was one of those times that I will never forget, and anyone who was with me and anyone who's alive with that time will never forget. I was sitting there as a sophomore, and we had these things called class meetings, where the president of the class had to deal with like class business, and we'd raise money for our class and do this and that. And you're looking at the sophomore class president, so we were having class meetings, and it was on September 11th, 2001, that day, and we were in it was Mr. Page's class. He used to be one of my teachers, and we were wrapping up that meeting, and I was leading the meeting, and one of our teachers, our math teacher, walked in the room, and you could just tell by the look on her face something was wrong. And she was having this conversation with our teacher, and we could all overhear what she was saying. We were making out bits and pieces, and we heard something about a plane. We heard something about the United States being under attack. And that was, I feel kind of old saying this, that was 19 years ago today on September 11th, 2001. Our nation was attacked. 2 planes flew into the World Trade Center buildings in New York City. A plane flew into the Pentagon in Washington, D.C., and there were hijackers that took another plane, and it crashed in a field in Pennsylvania. So imagine being some of you are sophomores, but imagine me being a sophomore and I'm hearing all this. We walked by the library and the images of the planes crashing into the buildings were on the TV in the library, and everybody like gasped as we watched like the first tower just like collapse. And I'll never forget how nervous and how scared we all were, because we had no idea the extent of what was going on. And everybody just walked. It's never been like this before. When classes would change and you'd walk through the hallways, it was just dead silence in our hallways. Nobody talking, nobody joking around. Right after lunch, they put through the PA, like through the intercom, the president addressed the nation and actually prayed for the nation. Then I'll never forget that next Sunday coming back to church. Our church was packed out. I mean, it was cheek to cheek. It wasn't COVID friendly back then. It was cheek to cheek. Everybody came because everybody's world had been rocked. And we gathered as a congregation and we sang a song. It was a hymn. It's an old hymn. It says, "A mighty fortress is our God." And that hymn is based off this set of verses in Psalm 46. And I want to read the first 3 verses. It says, "God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore we will not fear though the earth gives way, though the mountains be moved into the heart of the sea, though its waters roar and foam, though the mountains tremble at its swelling." Yeah, just like I had that moment, September 11th, 2001, where I'll never forget where I was when I heard that devastating news, and I'll never forget how nervous I was. Some of you have had like a 6 to 7 month moment during this quarantine and during this virus, and you're always going to remember what life was like during the virus when you look back on this, when we get back to normal. But know that just like that verse and that song and meeting together brought comfort to me as a sophomore, I believe this verse can bring comfort to you. You're done with by the end of the day today, you'll be done with your first week of school. It's been different. You may feel a little still nervous and a little anxious, but know that God is your refuge. He's your ever-present help in time of trouble, and you can talk to Him. You can experience life with Him, even though it feels like the world's falling apart. So take courage and have a great weekend this weekend.